Hey, my nomies. You know, last time on the MT and Me, we had crawled under Pearl and learned a lot about the straps that hold her gas tank in place. Specifically, what's holding those straps in place so that we can see what's necessary to undo them so we can drop the tank and give it a good cleaning. It's one of the many projects on Pearl that we have pending right now. Well, basically, we found the bolts that are holding the straps, and we found the nuts that are on the bolts that are holding those straps in place, and determined that you're going to have a pretty deep socket to get to them and possibly get them off. So, actually, I thought about my impact wrench, which is a 1/2 inch, like most of them are. And I thought, well, let's get some 1/2 inch sockets and see what we can do. Well, all my 1/2 inch impact sockets are metric here. So, and 15's the smallest one, so that's the one I grabbed. And it didn't work. It's too big. And I thought, well, let's try some of the others. So I went back to the trusty 3/8 and discovered that all of my 3/8 deep sockets are not deep enough. They're too shallow on the inside to go up completely. They're not what you'd call a true deep socket. Deeper than a normal one, but not deep enough for this. So, I'm kind of stuck. And I said, well, I just got to get some more sockets and we'll see what we can do. After watching the video, Ree immediately called me up and commented, why are you using metrics? You know, Pearl was made in the 1970s and by an American manufacturer. They weren't using any metrics back then. And that's true. And interestingly enough, another one of my nomies, David, commented exactly the same thing the next day. He said, look, man, the metrics aren't going to work because they weren't using metrics back then. He recommended that it's probably maybe a 9/16. I'm not sure where he got that figure from, but it's good enough for me. I don't know. So anyway, based on their two recommendations, I said, well, we're not going to find a metric that fits. So it was time to buy more sockets. And since I needed some more 1/2 inch sockets anyway, we got them. They're 1/2 inch, they're deep, and these are SAE, from 1/2 all the way up to 1 inch. So, we're going to try again to see if we can't undo one of those nuts on Pearl's gas tank straps. Wish me luck. You know, I think I mentioned the last time we were here together that I should just get myself a pad and a pillow, set up housekeeping under here, because it's getting to be so familiar. But I still haven't done that. My head's laying on this rough concrete. So, we're going to see if this works as quickly as possible, because it's really not comfortable under here. Let's see. My nomie, well, here's the boulder. I'm right under it. My nomie, David, suggested a 9/16. The first one I pulled off is a 1/2 inch. So what the heck? Let's try it. Well, it's not a 1/2 inch. That's too small. So, which is the next size up. And well, it seats down on there. You know, this just might actually be fitting. Get it in place. Something's loose because my whole strap is looser than it was. And all I did was move it a little bit with my fingers. All right, let's give this a try. Well, I got it on there. There we are. There we are. Okay. Now, this impact wrench might be a bit of overkill here. Not sure that that's even gonna fit in there. What it is the end of that bolt is awfully close to the opening, and I've got maybe a bit too much of a plug here on the impact wrench. Tell you what, I have a 1/2-inch socket handle. Let me just go get it and we'll give it a try. Okay, so got my 1/2-inch socket wrench. What I don't have is a 1/2-inch extension. Well, I do, but it's this long, so it may be a bit much. I don't know. But you know what? We can try it. Let's see. Let's try it without it first. I think this is going to work. Oh yeah, it's coming down. It is coming down. Nice and loose, and with a little time that nut will come right off of there. But here's the thing, I'm not quite ready to take it completely off right now, because I'm not prepared to drop the tank. I really need to get a second jack. I've got one, but I think a two would be a lot better handling a tank of this size. And I don't know what this thing weighs. Now, it is a plastic tank, so it's not going to be incredibly heavy, but still, it's also a 36-gallon, I think, plastic tank. So, it is going to have a little bit of heft to it. Okay, so we've got this one loose. Let's just see if we can get this other one loose. Yeah, we obviously had to switch sides and move the camera around. So let's see if this one is going to... Well, it went right on there. So let's just see how much we can loosen this. Just like the other one, it is loosening up nicely. Okay. Stuff's falling in my eyes here. Sometimes even glasses don't help. Okay, so we've established that we can get to these two using the good old 9/16. David, you called it right, brother. You were spot on, man. Thank you for that recommendation. 9/16 fits perfect, and these two which I really thought might be a problem, are going to loosen with no problem. The other one we have to get to is on that end of the tank, and I'm just not real sure how accessible it is going to be. This is about the closest shot I can get to it for you to see it. I can barely access it here. Let's see. Well, okay, that fit, but I don't know if I can get to it with the wrench. Well, lo and behold, people, never say never. Oh yeah, it is getting loose. Okay. And I'm getting a face full of dirt and grime. So, I think maybe I need to stop where I am right here and see if I can squeeze out of this tiny space that I'm in. There's me and the ground and the gas tank. So let's get to some more open spaces, shall we? Okay. I'm getting too old for this stuff. Let's get up. Okay. So, we have established, first of all, 9/16. That's the size. The sockets can access the nuts. They are deep enough to reach them and turn them and unscrew them. The next step in this process is to get the jack or jacks that I was talking about. They have to be put underneath the tank to support it, so that when you take the straps off, you can then gently lower the tank down, because once those straps come loose, there's nothing holding it there. I also have to disconnect the filler hose. In the case of Pearl's tank, that's not a big problem. It's just undoing a pipe clamp on the side and pulling the hose off the side of the tank. I apologize for being so breathless, but crawling around like that honestly does take it out of me. So yay! We've really accomplished something here today. Still haven't taken the gas tank off, but now I know it can be done, and without a lot of fuss and muss. I hope I'm not jinxing it by saying that, because we are still not to that point yet. But very soon, we gonna be. Now that I know how to undo those straps, it's just a matter of getting everything else in place, and that old gas tank is gonna be dropping down. Whew. Finally. Well, hello again, Nomies. Hey, different day, different vehicle, different problem. All right. I originally was going to take you along on a trip to Monroe today. I had a doctor's appointment down there, so I was going to take care of that. Maybe go eat, do some shopping. I was just going to kind of vlog the whole trip and keep you along for company. But, well, I'm obviously not in Monroe. No, just barely got across the state line, and my old Equinox here started to heat up again. I say again because if you remember, the last time I took this vehicle to Monroe, it turned into a total fiasco of overheating and a flat tire and just all kinds of things that can go wrong in the course of an afternoon. And you have to laugh about it. That's the only way to get through it, you know. But anyway, after that incident, after I made it back here, went to my mechanics and they checked through the system, and that's when they came up with the idea that, well, maybe I had diluted the coolant system because I had on several occasions added water. I didn't have any antifreeze, and so I had just topped it off with water. It's not a good idea. So I keep antifreezes right back here in the back seat now, and keep it with me all the time. And anytime I find the fluid level a little bit low in the reservoir, I'll top it off with coolant, with antifreeze. I did that just day before yesterday. Really. Yeah, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. And I take off today for Monroe. I've had no overheating at all as far as local driving, but I've really not had it out on the road. Okay? It's all been local driving, so no extended, getting the engine up to temperature and keeping it there for a period of time. So, anyway, I did that today. And once again, I was watching my temperature gauge creep up. And whenever I'd slow down, it would just go bananas, lay way over, give me my warning light. I'd have to pull off, shut the engine down, let it cool. So, call my doctor and reschedule. Turn around and limped back. I probably wasn't, 12 miles away. 15 at the most. So I turn around and I come on back to cross it, and it seems to be doing okay. I don't have to stop any, but I'm watching that temperature real closely, and I drive straight to my mechanic's garage. Don't go home, don't pass go, certainly don't collect $200. I went straight to the garage and said, let's doing it again. And so they did a little checking. They had to add some coolant, and I said 2 days ago, but we can't find a leak. There's no leak. All right. Okay, well, you immediately suspect head gasket. So we did some checks and some testing. It does not appear that I have a head gasket problem. So it's not that. What is it? Took, by sheer random chance, noticed that there might be a problem with the radiator fans. Let me take you out here under the hood and show you, okay? I don't know how much you're going to be able to see here, but there are two fans on Pearl's radiator. There's one down here, and there's another one right over here. Basically, what we determined is that this one is working. This one is not. Now the blades turn in both of them, so it's not frozen up. Could be motor failure. We checked wiring. That appeared to be okay. We looked at fuses and relays. All that seems to be in order. And there aren't any trouble codes showing. But that fan runs, and this one doesn't. Now, in all later model cars, These radiator fans are very important. As long as you're driving down the highway at 60 or 70 miles an hour, you've got enough airflow going through that radiator that it's probably going to keep your coolant steady, as long as you've got a good level of coolant and everything's ready. But once your engine is up to temperature, whenever you start slowing down, say city traffic, especially stop and go traffic, where you're having to stop at every block or two for a red light or a stop sign, then you don't get that airflow. And that's when those fans kick on and they start sucking air through the radiator. And that keeps your engine cool. And there are 2 fans on there for a reason. You need both of them. So I have ordered a new fan assembly to put on the radiator. And we'll be taking care of that little bit of business next week and see what that does with the overheating problem. If any of you have had a similar issue with overheating in a Chevy Equinox or anything with the 3400 cc engine, the 3.4 liter Chevrolet engine that's in here from, this is a 2006 model, so it's about a 20-year-old engine. It's not the same as the ones they are making now, but it is an older model of it. Anyway, if you've got any experience with that and possible overheating, I would like to hear from you, okay? Tell me about your experience, what you found that might be wrong or was wrong, and how you dealt with it, okay? Because this little lady here is my main ride. I mean, you know, sure, I work on Pearl most of the time, but I got to keep this car running too so that I can go get all the parts for Pearl and keep going to my job to make money to work on Pearl. You know how it is. So yeah, she's important too. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you today as we wrap things up here on the MT and me, and that is going to be it. Next time around, maybe we'll see if we can do some more with Pearl's gas tank. I'm not making any promises about that. This week's getting busy. The Wiggins Festival is coming up. That's the annual Wiggins Cabin Festival that I always go to. I'll have some video of it next week for you. Probably not a whole lot, but I want to give you some highlights of that and what's going on. And who knows what else might come up. Maybe a little bit about changing the radiator fan here. We'll see. We'll just see how the cards fall, okay? But in the meantime, I want to thank you for being with me through this week's video. I love you, my nomies. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up below. And check us out every weekend right here on YouTube, okay? Till next time around, I'm Russ. We will talk later.